Welcome everybody, Honor One's podcast, episode 38. It's the first time I've ever started a live stream with the actual intro. So I don't know, I wanted to test it out, give it a whirl. I know
Really?
approaching new ground here.
Wow. Okay, guys, this is different. This,
Yeah.
this is a really different episode. You guys can tell we're on demon timing today, I guess.
100%.
Introduced it.
Yeah. Merry belated Christmas, happy holidays to all of our, members. Happy honored holiday. It's weird that the H is silent, kind of ruins it. Because in my head, I kind of wrote it out, and I was like, oh yeah, H H H. That goes kind of hard. That goes kind of hard. So yeah, you know, uh, look, I'm gonna just say it.
What are you gonna say?
No. It's nothing. I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about my actions. I've reflected, and I realized it's not proper to say. Also, I realized that
Really?
I didn't actually send you the thumbnail or anything for the for the tweets.
Yeah, you
So,
didn't.
so I,
Be,
I
be, be
just
professional, man.
yeah,
Be professional.
I just sent that, dude. I was like fucking hyped too. I was like, yeah, bro. I gave like the actual intro and shit. Yeah, I'm him.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not. We all know it. It's okay. Maybe better look next time on that. Nah, but what's up, chat? All the things Cream said. Happy holidays. How are y'all doing on this fine? What is today? Tuesday? Yeah, it's fine. Tuesday
Yeah, it's weird that it's a
morning, I
Tuesday.
guess.
The week
Yeah.
after Christmas just kind of feels like one day until New Year's.
Hmm.
Unless of course you have work, in which case you're very aware of the day to day.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Let's
Okay,
see.
so I had a very funny intro for you guys. All right, and I guess for BR by extension, Uh,
Hmm.
okay, BR. So let's talk about Bleach really, really quickly. Okay, I thought
Okay.
of two things since our last conversation.
Alrighty.
One is a follow up on the Aizen thing, right? You know how you were giving me shit about like, oh, you can't, radicalize Aizen or like get like break him out and like start the revolution that way, blah blah blah. Okay, I've revised my strategy. So everybody, listen up. All right, time for class. I'm gonna explain to BR why I am empirically spitting.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of being plopped in as like a captain level Soul Reaper, which sure, it could work with if you have the power, and it could work if you don't have the power, right? If you're just like a normal human in the Bleach verse, you could also accomplish this like crazy feat, right? But
Hmm.
it would actually be way more helpful if you did have powers, maybe like a Fullbringer, right? A Fullbringer is like the happy like middle medium of power that you would need to like do this thing, okay?
Hmm.
So if anybody here has read the light novels, you'll know about the execution thing, which is basically this lady Aura started a new cult around the afterlife as part of Tokunada's plan. Tokunada's plan.
Okay, nada.
Yes, thank you. Tokunada's plan, right? It's whatever. It's just part of the plot of the light novels. We all know it. We all love it. Well, I know it and I love it. Right? BR here hasn't actually read it. He's kind of a fraud like that. But yeah, that's besides the point.
Hmm.
So, what you do is what she did with one specific difference, and that is preaching Aizen's ideology, right? So, you essentially get all these radicalized humans in the afterlife, right, that are on your side, and on Earth, you're doing like a cult thing, right? You're like, yeah, bro, it's kind of like, it would be kind of like the Bleach equivalent of like, I don't know, Satanism.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay,
For sure.
you do this for like however long you need to do this to build your numbers up in Soul Society, right? To kind of get the rumblings and murmurs flowing, right? Then when it's your time to go to Soul Society, whether that be in the form of death or just like I don't know, going whatever, you go up there, right? You see a bunch of people who are just like part of this cult. They're spreading the good word around because you're like, oh yeah, part of the mission of us, whatever religion, the Eisenites, right? The Eisenites, I like that. We
Okay.
Eisenites, will meet up in the afterlife in Soul Society. We're gonna form like some kind of like military base or like cult grounds, and we're gonna get our numbers like super strong, right? And what we're gonna do is pass out pamphlets, right? We're gonna try to increase our numbers even more. Let's say like half of Soul Society, right? This could take like 7, 800 years, however long you want to take it, right? You're immortal, they're immortal. You know, everybody's kind of pushing it through, right? They're dead anyway. What are they doing? So
Okay.
then and only then, when you have sufficient numbers, do you, Captain Level Soul Reaper or whatever, Fullbringer, make the ultimate plan to like break Aizen out of Mugen. And then you're like, Aizen, you see, like I've got you like a crew, bro. It's Civil War time. Let's fucking go.
Interesting.
Yeah. That way,
yeah, no.
that way, Aizen's ideology spread around Soul Society, so they can't even suppress the information. And everybody knows about the Soul King stuff too, right? Which is like the big secret. So, with those two things like being in place, all you then need is just to be like, hey Aizen, I want to be friends with you, or some crazy shit like that, because you also know about Aizen's like backstory, or whatever, right? And then he's like, whoa, what's this? The Hogyoku is like shaking the binds off of me. Ah, my butterfly form. Oh no, the form above it. I've truly ascended, beyond the Soul King. Mugetsu Ichigo, who's that guy? Right?
Yeah, okay.
And then Aizen wins, right? No diff, Squad 0. Soul King is dealt with, and Aizen creates like, I don't know, like Soul Society becomes heaven. I don't know. Like, so what I'm saying is, Aizen needed to hand out pamphlets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that probably would not go like that for a plethora of reasons.
Okay, name one flaw. This is you're talking about like
you being the cult leader. That is the flaw.
How the whole point of having the superpowers is getting people. Okay, if you perform miracles, you're more inclined to get people to join. But for you, they wouldn't be miracles. Who are you going to
perform miracles in front of?
If I have superpowers, if I am the average Fullbringer, right, I can do some crazy shit. Like, what? My hand is on fire. How did I do that? Or watch, I can make this necklace into a sword, right? Like,
in this day and age where people don't believe that shit, yeah, that'll be real convincing. CGI, you're a magician, you're a hoax, you're a hack, it's a hoax, like all different kinds of stuff. You're gonna pull off a literal, actual, like literal supernatural soul-based ability, and people are not going to believe you because, damn, bro, shit don't really be happening like that. People are not gonna believe that shit. You're gonna be looked at as if you're crazy. You're probably, and listen, this is gonna be a real blow to your ego, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, you don't have the makings of a cult leader.
That's crazy, bro.
You just don't. You don't got that in you, bro. You don't got that in you. Like me personally, I do, right? But you don't.
Okay.
You don't got the gumption, man.
Okay.
And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna break Aizen out of Mugen, and what he's gonna say to you, you guys are gonna be like, all right, guys, now we can fulfill your dream. And he's like, dream? Like, do you think you guys could achieve something that I couldn't on my own? Yeah, okay. And then you're all gonna die. Because you guys were so presumptuous with Aizen. That's what's going to happen.
I'm going to say it one more time. I think you're underestimating Aizen. I think he's got a better head on his shoulders than you give him credit for, all right? I think if it was either of us, he would be like, damn, I love you guys. Y'all are just like me. You see the vision. Bro. I remember an iconic BR quote from one of our conversations last year even, because I'm a good friend like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said, and I quote, Creams. Sorry. Creams.
But he's about to lie, chat. Because he's thinking about the lie right now. As soon as he cleared his throat, I knew nothing you were going to say is going to be real. It's all fabricated from this point on. You are currently, while I'm talking, you are coming up with a lie.
Listen.
Go ahead. Now proceed to lie.
Quote. This is an actual quote.
Proceed to lie.
I was like, allegedly, I said something along the lines of, Kenpachi was there, so why would Aizen feel lonely about having this power, right? To which you rebutted, maybe in power, but nobody matched him in ambition. And I've held on to this, right? I've held on to this fucking line of yours for about a year now. And I was thinking about it, right? If you just like fucked with him on ideology, I feel it would make up for the power difference, right? Because to him it's more important, right? Otherwise, he would have been fucking best friends with Yamamoto and Kenpachi. Right? Maybe he would have even.
You just need both.
Maybe he would have even like looked at Onohana, right? Maybe, like you know what I mean? Like,
you just need both. You can't have one or the other. You need to have both.
What makes you say that?
Because
one is more important.
There's both. Ambition without power is useless, and power without ambition means you're not going to do anything. Both of those are equally important to being like Aizen. If you're just as strong as Aizen, but like you're a fucking couch potato, you're just a really strong, lazy fuck, right? But if you're a super ambitious guy who wants to change the world, but you don't have the power to do so, you're just a lame, right? You're an idealistic fraud. Aizen doesn't like either of those types of people.
Okay, hold on. Cap? Like, okay, no,
No, because he shits on people. Like Toshiro's whole fucking his like him taking issue with that shit. You have okay, Kisuke for example, right? Kisuke has the abilities, right? He doesn't have the raw power, but he has the abilities to enact shit. He doesn't have the ambition to or the drive to change the status quo. Aizen does not fuck with that, right? And Aizen continuously makes fun of like the captains and Ichigo, and like he even doesn't really clown Gin, but he fucking kills him, right? But all of these people had the ambition to take him down. They had like the real drive to get shit done. Ichigo like has his ambition to save people, but guess what? Without the power to actually enforce that shit, they're just ambitious ants. Who cares? It doesn't
Dog.
matter. You with your full bring fire tricks are gonna go up to Aizen and be like, I want to change Soul Society. He's like, that's great. So does everybody else. Die. That's
Live.
all that's gonna happen.
Liv, that is unironically okay. If you have the ambition, okay, let's go back to this captain level Soul Reaper shit one more time, right? You at bare minimum, like, are powerful within the context of the rest of the verse. Maybe not Aizen, but and hear me out here, right? Maybe the main problem with Gin and Tozen was Tozen was just in his fucking feelings, like just straight up. Maybe he was just like fucking like he had one foot out the door, right?
Yeah,
And
but Tozen's ambitions aligned with Aizen's.
he was, but like he was strong. Okay.
But guess what? He wasn't strong, and Aizen one-shot him, bro. Clearly, that's not the strength Aizen is talking about. Like Aizen currently, the guy you hype up as like the strongest Bleach character,
I
the
never
guy
said
who
that.
like who like hypnotized you. Okay, the guy who hypnotized God. Yeah, you think your little fucking your maybe captain level abilities are gonna impress him? Okay, man.
I'm just
Unless
saying.
you can, if you're
Okay.
not soloing Soul Society, he doesn't want to hang out with you, bro. I'm just gonna
Okay.
be honest.
I'm gonna just rebut with, hey man, but when you were a normal Shinigami, you couldn't solo Soul Society, so you know you're being kind of judgy here.
Did he not? Did he not basically do that shit?
I mean,
Listen, bro. How about
like
how about this? How about this? How about
Yama
this?
Byakuya,
How about this?
Mayuri, and all of
Beat
them. Like, come on, bro.
beat beat Shunsui in a one-on-one, and maybe he'll join you. You're not doing that, bro. He's gonna say you want to play a game, and then you're gonna wake up in the afterlife. You're just gonna die again, bro. You're not him. You'd have to. And listen, I know you're writing your fan fiction. I'm sorry for shitting all over it, right? You would have to headcanon yourself to be like a top 3 character in the verse power-wise, with the intelligence to rival a Kisuke or an Aizen, or maybe if you want to lowball a Mayuri, right? And then you have to have the ambition. Like, bro, you're making you're making your OC fucking Aizen 2.0, bro. Like, listen. If you want to say, yeah, if I could convince Aizen and I was strong as Aizen and I was as smart as Aizen, and I had an ability that allowed me to be on Aizen's equal footing, yeah, I'd be able to change him.
Okay.
Sure, man, but that doesn't apply to literally anybody in the verse. There's no Bleach character that
Ichigo.
fulfills all those criteria.
I mean-
no, he doesn't. He doesn't have the ambition to do that. He
Okay,
doesn't
hold
give
on,
a
hold on.
fuck.
Okay, hear me out, right? You kidnap Ichigo.
Oh my god, bro.
And then
Bro,
you-
kidnap Ichigo? Are you serious? The guy who, once again, God said, bro, that Bankai is dangerous. You're gonna kidnap him? Oh, you're
Okay.
delusional, bro.
All right,
Or
okay.
Hime is stomping you out. I'm gonna be completely honest. You're gonna pull up to Ichigo, or Hime is just going to like, yeah, nah. You're getting bullied.
Okay.
You're getting bullied.
Listen. First of all, chat, y'all better like this stream, all right? But I'm cooking here, all right? I'm fucking cooking.
No, bro. Just
Listen.
start writing fan fictions.
Okay, hold on. So, let me add this little like middle step here, right? You go to Ichigo's house unarmed, right? You go, hey man, I'd like to have an earnest conversation with you, right? You tell him, hey, this is what Soul Society was planning to do with you. This is like the truth of the universe, blah blah blah, right? And then you hit him with some fucking like talking points. I don't know. You radicalize Ichigo, and then Ichigo is like, "Whoa, Aizen was spitting." He goes there. He actually like one shots Shunsui.
Radicalize Ichigo. No. Let me tell you why radicalizing Ichigo.
Bro, he is not like
impossible.
he is not even okay. Ichigo's a smart guy, but he is not like top
It's not-
5
it's not,
smartest.
It's
like,
not about
he can.
one.
You can
It's
do
not
it.
about. It's not about being smart, right? Aizen couldn't do it. Yuha couldn't do it. nobody in the verse could change Ichigo's mind on his own ideals.
Listen,
You fucking
no, because they
reread
weren't
Bleach,
trying.
right?
They weren't actually trying to give it.
Yuha did. Yuha
Okay.
did. Don't lie.
Okay,
Yuha
but
did.
Yuha was limited in one superior, like in one very specific major way. Do you know what that was? He killed Ichigo's mom, right? Like I don't think Ichigo was willing to listen at that point.
But the thing is, like, what you would trying to, you would be telling Ichigo, all right, bro, we just need to overthrow Soul Society with all of your friends, right? We're just gonna fuck him over. Cool? As soon as his friends are in any sense of danger or uncomfort, you've already lost him. No matter what, Ichigo will oppose you to the day you fucking die. And as soon as he decides that, the day you die is today. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, if you say, yeah, so we're just gonna change from Soul Society with where Rukia, Byakuya, Renji, Kenpachi, all of them, all my friends, you're gonna, nah, sorry. I'm not gonna let that slide.
Okay.
You're gonna hear Bankai, and then you're just gonna be like, damn.
Okay,
That's
what
tough.
if you take away all of Ichigo's powers? Okay.
Oh my god,
dude.
bro. Oh my god. Bro
this
said,
is
what if you take it?
okay.
No, bro.
So you're telling
bro,
me you don't think you'd have it in you to meaningfully radicalize Ichigo into like freeing Aizen and then come on, bro.
Listen,
like,
I'm gonna ask you a very simple question, right? And the answer you give is going to determine how much more I can entertain this conversation, all right? Do you think you are more capable than Yuha? Yes or no?
Okay, that's not fair.
Yes or no?
Fine. Okay. You know what? Y'all are hating. Are y'all not fucking with the vision?
Yes or no, bro? Just yeah. Are you more capable than Yuha,
No.
the father of Quincy's? No. Okay, then you're not radicalizing Ichigo. That's it. That's how it goes. That's it. It's done. Put the spatula down is crazy, bro.
What the fuck?
Put the spatula down is wild. No.
Cream's trying to fry chicken with oh my god, bro.
No, bro. No, bro.
Cream's just been
Yeah.
hypnotized by Aizen.
Nah, bro. Listen. All I'm saying is, like, bro, listen. If you headcanon yourself to be the literal perfect character with no flaws, sure, maybe Aizen will hear you out. But unless you're that, if you're anything short of that, you're done. Aizen's going to kill you. You're not even getting to Mukin, right? Like, let's be honest.
Bro,
Kisuke is going to predict that you want to do that and kill you. Like,
it's not fair, bro. I could do it.
bro has been cooking this in the back of his mind.
Oh yeah, no,
For God knows how
yeah.
long. And in the span of what, 15 minutes, I had to fucking force your eyes open to realize that yes, bro, the reason people don't do this shit is probably not because they don't want to. Not like you don't think one person maybe has some similar aspirations to you in Bleach, but maybe they then realize that logistically it's impossible. Like, you can't name a character in Bleach who has the ability to do what you want. Or has all the traits that can do that, right? Ambition, intelligence, raw power. All of those things that are enough to, like, that are enough to sway Aizen.
Ginjo's close.
Ginjo. This bro said Ginjo. Okay.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Bro said Ginjo?
What do you?
Oh, nah, bro.
Oh my God.
Bro ain't cooking shit.
Aren't you the one
Bro
that
ain't
told me
cooking
Ginjo was
shit.
stronger than Aizen?
Yeah, Aizen fucking, like, getting stronger in a chair, yeah. But Aizen just canonically got stronger. Like, what? I don't know what you want me to tell you. Yeah, maybe if Aizen was how he was, like, I don't know, before, arcs ago, but not now. And Aizen's probably just still sitting in that chair getting fucking stronger. Like, bro, it's not happening. Ginjo ain't doing shit. Ginjo doesn't have the ambition to do that either. Bro's not going up to Aizen and convincing him. Is he smart enough to? Hell no. Does he have the ability to resist any illusions? No. He's gonna look at Aizen and be like, oh, fucking delusion. Not happening.
Tsukishima. He can implant himself in Aizen's backstory. He can implant himself in Aizen's backstory. Give him that
the
fucking
hack
friend.
wouldn't work. The hacks wouldn't work. His Ryatsu would stop it from working. He would literally, the same way that, like, Soifon tried to use Suzume Bachi and instantly kill Aizen, and that shit didn't work because his Ryatsu was too powerful, the same thing would happen to Tsukishima. He would literally stab him, try to use whatever it's called, Book of the End or whatever the fuck, and Aizen would just say no, and then it just wouldn't happen.
Okay. You know what? I'm willing to drop this for now. All right, I'm going back in the kitchen. I'm looking at my recipe and I'm revising it. All right, this isn't over.
Bro said I need more ingredients.
Yeah.
I'm so sick.
Okay,
All right, bro.
so second Bleach question. This one's just fun. It's not even a headcanon thing. If you could like, if you could like think of yourself as like a Bleach character, who would it be and why? I'm curious, like who you think you'd be in Bleach. Like memes aside, right? Like seriously, like closest personality match, and why? And also, I want to give you who I think you'd be, and we could do like the same for each other.
I don't know. I don't. This is not really something I think I have in my mind all the time. Who would you? Who do you think I'd be first? And maybe that'll point me in a fucking direction.
Because like the whole point is like your image of yourself versus like my image of you is kind of the game, and like it's like what is the unfiltered? I'll give you mine for example, right? And then you could take some time to go, right? So I think I'm most closely like Shinji.
Sorry. Shinji, bro. Okay. Shinji's
right?
Who you think?
Yeah.
Shinji, bro.
Yeah, he's just the right amount of goofy with the right amount of serious.
Okay, all right. I think I'd be like, mixing with my temperament. I think I'd be like Byakuya. Yeah, I think
That's
like
crazy.
unironically, I think I'm kind of spitting the. Yeah, I think I'd be like Byakuya.
I figured you'd be like Hitsugaya.
Like Toshiro?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm like I thought about it, but I don't know if I don't know, maybe Byakuya's a bit too stoic. But yeah, I don't know like, if I'd go to the end of Toshiro though.
Yeah, but Toshiro's still got like the not immaturity, but like the I don't know what you want to call it. He's still in his youth, right? He hasn't reached his fucking like peak, whereas Byakuya's like in his like absolute fucking prime right now, just ideologically and like power wise, whereas Hitsugaya seems like he's still figuring it out, right? He just seems to like be a more stern or like more like stripped back kid or person.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Got you.
It's just like the right mix of like immaturity and like his personality naturally.
Got you. Yeah. Also, Justin, you fucking moron. No, I'm not talking about Byakuya and Soul Society. I'm talking about like end of series Byakuya. You fucking dunce. You execute your sister,
right? Like back when Byakuya was just bootlicking to let his sister die. Like
dude, bro. Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Bro, these people are cooking you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Omaida, Hanataro.
I'm not gonna lie. The Momo shit is kind of funny though, because like
that's funny because of
the past 20 minutes. Yeah.
But bro, Hanataro and Omaida is kind of disgusting. I remind you of Shuhei. Oh nah, bro.
Shuhei literally called himself a coward.
Yeah, bro. I'm different.
Like I feel like I'm Eisner the Soul King. That's hilarious, bro. All right, so
yeah, that's
now that we've done you. All right, what do you think? Because I think Shinji's pretty accurate. For myself.
My and I won't necessarily say this is the final one. I guess I'm still thinking. My immediate thought was that like substitute Shinigami, that like that Ichigo runs into sometimes. The guy with the afro that Ichigo never remembers his name. Guys, you remember who I'm talking about?
That's crazy.
That's who I meet. Like as soon as you asked me the question, like you could give me one. That's who I was thinking.
That's wild, bro.
That's who I was thinking.
Unironically?
Like that. I'm not saying that is my final answer, like I said, but when you said that, I was like, damn, that's low key him. Let's see. I think yes. I don't know. I think yeah. I think Shinji's fine. I think Shinji's not a horrible pick. I think Shinji's a little too cool, but
I mean, listen, man. I am that guy, so we
Don Kanoji, bro.
Oh shit! Thank you, some vibin, for the $10.
Thank you. Bro, Don Kanoji is crazy. Yeah. I guess I'll align with Shinji. Um,
I
even though I do think he's a little
I
too cool for you.
appreciate that. You know, my follow up was gonna be like, uh, Shunsui.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Don't fucking don't. I mean, like, you definitely got the slacker tendencies, I guess, but you
Slacker
know,
tendencies. Oh my god.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right. That was a fun little mini game. I would have been curious. Like okay, I don't think there's anything close to, personality wise to somebody like if somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm like Urahara," I'm like, "No, you're not."
and maybe
Urahara
if you're like,
would never say
yeah,
some shit like that.
I don't know, maybe.
Like Mayuri would.
Um,
Like if somebody says they're like Urahara, they're like Mayuri.
Interesting. Um,
And you know what? It'll make him as upset as Mayuri. I'm spitting, bro.
yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see your little power scaling thing you did there.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Um,
I'm you for real.
yeah. Let me not say what immediately popped into my mind when I saw that. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice.
Hey, that was a fun mini game. Creams is Renji. Don't ever disrespect me like that. I ought to ban you for that, bro.
Hold on. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Renji. No, he might be spitting, bro. I'm
No,
sorry.
I,
Renji. Yeah, no, bro. He kind of
dude,
spitting.
I trained to fight somebody on the level of Aizen. That guy? No, no.
Yeah, no. You know what? No. Chat. I'm about to turn that comment into a cooking comment. Something just popped in my head, bro. What you did before, like the beginning of the stream, right? Coming into the chat or not coming into the stream being like, I came up with the fucking perfect plan is the equivalent of saying I've trained this whole year to be able to defeat Aizen. That's what you
No,
fucking
it's
did.
fucking not,
That's that
bro.
equivalent. You came in here thinking that you were hot shit, like you trained and shit, right? And then you just got fucking packed. Nah, bro. He's cooking. He's
No, he's
cooking.
fucking
No,
not,
he's
bro.
cooking, bro. Because that's the same thing you, bro. I've been training for 3 days with this argument, and then, boom, slapped away in 15 minutes, bro. Yeah, no, that's Renji shit if I've ever seen it. Nah, bro.
Nah, the disrespect.
Nah.
Nah,
Who said that? Who said that? Who
nah.
said
You're getting
nah? Foreign. Yeah, you got it, bro. That's a
nah,
W. That's a fucking W.
dude.
That's a fucking
Perry, I
W.
know, right, dude? Fuck, bro. I'm in
Yeah,
the
bro. That's a
fucking
W.
air fryer right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a W. That's a W.
Ugh. All right, Chad. I've sufficiently been, cooked to readiness. It might be a little overdone at this point, so we're just
Mm,
gonna move on steadily to the chapters this week. Uh,
mm.
uh, shut Jay. Come, don't fucking no. All right, this is over. Okay, we're moving. We're moving
Classic
on.
Reggie versus BR.
Oh my god.
Oh, you spitting for real, bro. Nah,
No.
I like you. I like you, guy. You seem like an intelligent, well thought out human being. Yeah, you're spitting, bro.
Oh my god.
Um,
Okay. All right,
yeah.
guys. Let's just move on.
All
Uh,
right, JJ or not JJK time, chapter time.
general
Um,
chapter time. Let's just blast through it. Have you noticed that like the My Hero chapter has gotten like less chapters the last couple of weeks? It's only like 11 pages.
the Mario. Yeah, I think Horikoshi is fucking tired. I think because he also made a color page this week, so I
Uh,
imagine. I think that typically correlates. Yeah. Well, shit, this was really short. Just like skimming through it real quick.
yeah,
It
it's
was
like
like,
10 pages actually.
yeah, really short chapter. I hope that he takes a break because it looks like he's about to get into like a fight that I'm actually going to be invested in, which is Endeavor versus Dobby.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, look, man. At this point, Endeavor's like dead, like a dead man. We're just kind of waiting, cause like my theory is like when Endeavor dies, it's just gonna be like the final. Fuck, what is Endeavor's ultimate move called?
Prominence burn.
Yeah, it's like okay, the super prominence burn, right? And he's just like, okay, I burned my entire life away or some shit like that, right? And
Yeah.
that's gonna be it for good old Endeavor. And
A
yeah,
a dual death with him and Dobby would be cool. But I
yeah,
don't know
but
if I don't know if Rokoshi's gonna go that way.
I mean, it's kind of wasted because he's the number one hero. So it would like it's not that it would be wasted, but I just mean like logistically, it would be kind of wasted that this like ultimate prominence burn on on Davi, considering there's like two Shigarakis out there now or two All
I
for
don't know,
Ones.
man. Dobby has been like outside of All for One and Shigaraki. He's been, I would say, the most problematic and difficult person to deal with. I mean, like his firestorms are so powerful. They're like affecting America and shit. Like,
Mm.
bro is like I definitely get what you mean, but like Dobby's fucking suicidal bullshit warpath right now is kind of like fucking shit up for him, right? So Endeavor, and also from a standpoint of Endeavor trying to take responsibility for his past sins, blah 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 blah. That'd be cool. I don't know if that's the direction Horikoshi will decide to go with it. Maybe he'll have Todoroki interfere and like cool them both off or some bullshit or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Endeavor going out like that. That wouldn't be a bad way for him to go.
Yeah, I mean, like narratively it'd be cool. I'm just saying, like, if you were, the battle general, like in the war, you'd be like, come on, bro. It's like, I know he's your son, and this would be really cool, like full circle for you, but like, there's two of them. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. All Deku got to do is beat up Shigaraki, then beat up All
Oh,
for
is
One.
is that
Like,
all? Is that all he has to
yeah.
do?
But listen, he's packing him the fuck up right now, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Um,
Ugh.
Granted, he's using literally everything he's ever learned to deal with Shigaraki, but that's besides the point, all right?
Yeah, I'm surprised Dobby's still alive, to be honest, because I thought, between the phosphorus burn, his own flames, and whatever is gonna happen with Endeavor, it's like, bro, the whole point is that Dobby should be like burnt up right now. So
Yeah.
I forget, wasn't that mentioned? I think last chapter where it's like,
Yeah,
how the hell is he like alive or something?
Todoroki does mention like, bro, you should not be alive, or like not even that you should not be alive, but you should be able to move. But at this point, Dobby is literally all of his skin is burned off. You can see his bones being exposed and shit like that. Like, I think, yeah, he's pretty. He is all of this shit is like, yeah, he's dying, and this is what he's doing as he dies.
Ah, well, he seems to be
Domestic
vibing.
violence burn is wild.
Oh my god. Yeah, that one was mean. I like that.
Huh. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so I don't know, pretty fine chapter.
I
It
mean,
didn't
it's
do all that
super
much.
short. Like there's
Yeah,
we only have as much to talk about as like Horikoshi, puts out. Um,
that's fine. I don't know. Wasn't
yeah,
egregious, I guess.
yeah. Like, damn, that's been our most positive My Hero Academia review in a minute.
All right, bro, relax. I'm a My Hero fan. You're a hater.
That's
I can.
crazy that you'd say that
Yeah.
to me of all people. I'm
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm. Yeah, disgusted. I know. Anywho, on
uh,
to Black Clover. What'd
uh,
you think about that chapter?
First of all, I want to say Black Clover is one of the best series. I've always loved it.
Oh no, that
On
makes.
record, on record, bro. I've been here fighting for my life, saying Black Clover's a 10. All right, it's in my top 10, and everybody's looking at me sideways until now. All right, I just want to
No,
say I've
still.
I've always been on the wave.
Okay, yeah. It's funny you say that on this chapter because this chapter was just like all right, I guess. I don't know, it
I
wasn't that cool for me.
All right, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I forgot to read the Black Clover chapter.
Oh nah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been decisions were weird. All right, like for me,
Mm-hmm.
Creams is always out here spitting mid takes, bro. I only spit the coldest takes because everything I say is just fucking facts.
Okay, guys. Okay, since the Black Clover fan didn't read the chapter, I guess I'll give you guys my thoughts. I think this is just a typical fucking fight chapter, which is not to say that it's bad or whatever, but not too much plot wise happens, right? Like not too much moves forward with the narrative. It's just mainly us seeing the what the Ryuzen Seven versus Sister Lily in her true human form in crew, I guess. So like it's not bad. Um, like it's not at all a bad chapter. I think it's perfectly serviceable. It's just not super duper like crazy either way. It's just kind of okay. Um, I don't know. Like I honestly don't have much to say about it, honestly. Like just simply because of the fact that it's just straight fighting, and Tabata does what Tabata does. You know what I mean? It looks good, the art's cool. We get some cool moves. You get to see, I guess, some of these characters' abilities and maybe some of their fighting characteristics. A lightning Yojutsu user, and how I feel about lightning characters. So I
Yeah,
guess
eat
that
that
little bit
shit
was
up,
cool. Yep, yep, yep.
dude. A lightning character
So
with a sword. Ooh. Ooh, this guy,
Yeah,
dude, he's on the
she
floor
doesn't have a sword,
drooling.
unfortunately.
Yeah, bro, good.
You would know if you read the chapter, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Ichika or whatever the fuck her name is also cool with her little armor. So I guess we're gonna see how it plays out in the coming chapters. Overall, like all right, 6 out of 10, I guess. Chapter wise, it was entertaining.
Uh,
It was entertaining.
yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I bet you will, man.
I don't know. I find Black Clover's really fun on binges, so I never take reading it like too seriously. Um, and also I'll admit the hiatuses kind of threw me off my rhythm a little bit because of the
Hmm.
Shonen Jump. I don't know, mislabeling the other week.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Br, what's your score for Black Clover? Oh, what was your score for My
Six out of
Hero?
10. 6 out of 10 as well.
All right, so I agree with the 6 out of 10 for My Hero as well. Okay,
Mhm.
listen, man, I can't believe Weekly Shonen Jump is really only given us like two of these series to kind of like three of these series to really cook with, and R.I.P. Hunter x Hunter back on hiatus. So massive L for me personally.
Mm. No,
Uh,
I don't know. To me, that I don't know. That just means Takashi has plans of like doing like spurts of going on and off again. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
hopefully it's like longer chapters because like if we're talking about just like him wanting to finish up the series, then I think longer chapters but like less frequent is kind of the way to go. I think honestly, I'm gonna just say it right. If there was like a monthly chapter system where it kind of corresponded to like let's say 60 pages per month, I wouldn't be mad at that, right? A nice 60, 70 page read every single month would be kind of crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, what
yeah,
about
for sure.
for you? Is it better weekly, like subdivided, or just like one like big one?
No, I mean, if it was just once a month, I would just probably just let it stack up either way. Because the guy she just writes very fucking dense shit, and it's
Yes.
not necessarily always super fun to read on a week to week basis, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
not to like I don't know like take a sneak at his quality. Not every manga that I really do enjoy is good in a week to week format. But I don't know, Hunter x Hunter to me. If he's cool resting for a bit, coming back, dropping some chapters, resting for a bit, like honestly, I'm just kind of like more so than even just Hunter x Hunter. Just like Tagashi's an author that like I at least like really love Yu Yu Hakusho, so I have a lot of respect for him as a writer and artist and whatnot. So even if it's just to finish a story that you fucks with a lot, like I don't really give a fuck how he goes about doing it. And that's just my standpoint on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's funny. It's funny that you say that about Tagashi's like reading Tagashi's work, especially with Hunter x Hunter's like recent let's say 50 chapters. I don't know. Uh, it's really it. Oh, I know how to phrase it. It is asking you for novel level energy and commitment without like
Mm.
being that long. So
Yeah.
it feels like, oh yeah, I need you to run into a full sprint for like 5 minutes and only 5 minutes.
Yeah. For sure. I'm not the biggest fan of just this arc in general, just because
Oh,
like I
dude,
just feel like
thank you. Me too. Look, I think the Phantom Troop stuff is the most fun, and it's mainly why I'm reading it. And same with Kurapika. But I could give a shit who's going to be the next king.
yeah, I just think there's just a lot going on. Maybe that's to its positive or its detriment. I guess we'll have to see like as it continues. But I just like it's not the most. It's just so dense, and it's obviously a byproduct of it's a byproduct of like his health and shit like that. So it's not really too much of a criticism on him, but just haven't been much of a fan of the succession war or whatever. There are definitely some really cool, interesting bits though. So not mad at it. All right, now I think Chet is starting to kind of get high.
Let's do this. Like the
Ooh,
stream guys, like the stream. We're about to go fucking crazy because Yuki versus
yeah.
Kenjaku is finished, or rather, Kenjaku versus Yuki. Winner's name goes first.
This chapter was I'm sure if you guys were on Twitter, this chapter was controversial. You guys saw all of it. And I have some mixed feelings on it. Creams, let me just ask you this, like a good stance. How do you feel about the chapter? Like, just before we get into the details, I'm curious like where you stand on it. I
Um,
need to know if I have an ally or if
okay.
you're an enemy.
So, I liked everything except Yuki's death, right?
Okay.
And there's a very specific reason for that. I did not think he was going to kill her. Like, as dumb as that sounds, right? I felt like I'd never got a chance to actually see what Yuki was made of. From like I didn't see her domain, and I didn't see her like. And okay, JJK fights are extremely like cerebral, especially like the stronger the fighters, usually the more intelligent like the fight. So I kind of expected her to kind of be more tactical. Like it
Hmm.
seems like a lot of her plan was just kind of like, okay, you saw these flashbacks with her meeting with Chozo and Tengen. You saw all this shit like be planned, and you even saw Tengen like get a little cocky at the end where he was like, yeah, she's gonna use her black hole now, with Kenjaku. Like he didn't say it like that because Tengen can't like emote,
Hmm.
but they're like, come on, bro, like that. Okay, Kenjaku is that guy, right? He is objectively like we know now he is that guy, right? He is built for this, but
Yep.
kind of a poor showing for Yuki because like I just, dude, Yuta fights like intelligently and with strength, right? He balances the two.
Hmm.
Kenjaku definitely like he's fighting like with 8D chess in mind, right?
Hmm.
Gojo doesn't need to because he's just fucking Gojo, right?
Yeah.
But even somebody like Megami, right? It's almost like it feels almost like a prerequisite for being a powerful sorcerer. It,
Hmm.
dude, best example, Sukuna, one of the most intelligent fighters in the series objectively, and he has no reason to be, right? He could be just as lazy as Gojo, but it is just like it's almost like a habit for him, right? Is the way it reads. And
Hmm.
and then there's Yuki. It just seems like the meathead of the group, which
Is
it
an
did
undeserving one.
it didn't sit right with me.
Yeah. So I think we're kind of on the same wavelength there. I think my criticisms on that part are going to be a bit harsher than yours. But
Oh,
first, yeah, I think I told you
yeah.
before stream, like on that specific part, okay. Let me preface this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to like make this very clear. Yuki being out of the story, dead, 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 beyond repair, completely her personality's gone, blah, 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 is like, whatever. Her body's dead, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Me and
literally
Liv were
cut in
talking,
half.
yeah, no, no, for sure. Me and Liv were talking about this, and a bunch of other people were talking about it on Twitter, right? Like, um, Yuki is a star plasma vessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
There could have been some fuckery with that in relation to Tengen or whatever. People are talking about like how, call it cope, call it whatever. It's possible that she's still going to be in the story in some way, shape, or form, right? So I want to put that possibility of her coming back in whatever form. I don't really care how you think she comes back. I want to put that to the side as these criticisms that I'm about to, or that we will talk about in regards to Yuki. Discard them if she comes back, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Like this is I want to make clear under the assumption that Yuki's dead and she no longer has a role in the story, right? Just want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked everything else in the chapter. Like I think like Choso's part, Choso's like grappling with his own humanity and his brother's humanity and how he took the easy way out. I like that a lot. I think it's pretty interesting that both him and Yuji seem to think that they are unworthy of life because of their taking of others, right? Like Choso saying that he killed too many people, um, and that he can no longer live alongside Yuji is really interesting because, in all honesty, as someone who's killed a lot of people, right? Choso may be one of the few people that should be standing right next to Yuji, right? Because they both kind of carry a very similar burden. I think it's interesting that Choso, like, and I'm hyping up Choso like crazy, and I think it's kind of deserved. Gege really went hard with him. For Choso to have done everything, quote unquote, as a big brother before his younger brothers is interesting because chronologically, Choso killed dozens of humans in Shibuya for no good reason, quote unquote, whatever, before Yuji killed people via Sukuna in Shibuya, right? And
Mm-hmm.
obviously Choso's whole thing in his fight with Naoya is like he takes the steps first, like he makes these mistakes, he has all these pitfalls, he does this shit like before all of his brothers. Like that's his role as a big brother. And I think it's like intentional or not, like a callback or not, whatever. I think it's really interesting that Choso is kind of one of the most appropriate people to stand by Yuji as someone who kind of like bears the same cross of like taking a life and essentially killing his own brothers, right? in his eyes, like aligning with the curses basically doomed them to death. I don't know. I like that for Choso. And I think him being forced to live on, um, like him quote unquote dying as a cursed spirit and living on as a human.
Seems like a mercy,
Um,
right? Like
it's a mercy, but it's also it seems to be
like he should
like kind of
atone,
like
is what you're
it.
saying.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Yuji living on after his Cog mentality. It's
Mhm.
kind of like, but certain aspects of them died right then and there. And they were reborn as something slightly different, right? They still inhabit the same body, they still have the same memories, the same friends, whatever, but their mentality and the way they go about living is going to be completely different. Um, so like for the Choso part, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm going to come back to the Yuki part, so don't worry about that. I just want to circle to the things I really did enjoy. Um, Tengen and the Sukuna thing is really fucking interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't have very many thoughts on where that's going to go projection wise, but that is really cool. I'm like okay okay. I'm fucking with the vision because like there's a bunch of different ways you could take it. Is Sukuna some sort of like evolution further beyond what Tengen is right now? Right? Shit like that. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Whatever. Interesting bullshit. The black hole panel for all that went into it, that shit just looked cool, right?
Mhm.
So I gotta give it props for that. I also fuck with as a power scaler, I
Yeah.
fuck with JJK entering those them higher tiers of ability, right?
Right.
I fuck with that a lot.
The really like
Um,
mathy like reality like shifting ones that are like,
yeah,
oh yeah, mass and weight and speed. Yeah, yeah. I know Skege seems to favor that a lot, especially with his special
yeah,
grades.
for
Uh,
sure.
and we can get into power scaling later, but I just do want to quickly, uh, I guess because I only gave my thoughts about like Yuki, so I'll just
Mhm.
quickly touch on the
Yeah,
rest of this. So as for Chozo's story, I do think him being forced to live on and like help Yuji is like honestly the best way to make up for or not even make up for, but just to like atone for all he did in Shibuya, and
yeah.
it also helping them free Gojo was like a huge one, right? Because that's the biggest thing he can do to like help, because like he was partially responsible for it going down like
Hmm.
that. If you want to assign blame for that.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
as for the Tengen Sukuna Kenjaku relationship, that's actually the thing I actually have most to say about. So I'm just kind of saving it
Okay.
for when that
Yeah,
comes up.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll just quickly say this, right? Um, I think that their relationship might be a lot more personal than Gege's been like letting on, because
Hmm.
I mean, Sukuna Sukuna like it seems out of character for him to speak to another person for any extended period of time without killing them, as like dumb as that sounds,
Yeah.
or without them being like, I don't know, a direct subordinate, right? So
Hmm.
I'm curious like how Kenjaku was able to like survive an interaction with him, especially like
Yeah.
Hein Yarasukuna, like with their two
Hmm.
faces, like a guy like that you don't walk up to, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah.
we can definitely talk about that in an extended
Yeah, yeah.
form in a bit because I think we're gonna talk about Tengen, Kenjaku, Sukuna, how they all relate to each other,
Yeah.
and throw around some ideas. But
Mm.
I guess it's time for me to get on my fucking soapbox. I really, really, once again, under the assumption Yuki's dead and she's not coming back in any capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really, really don't like this. I think it's bad for like several different reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and like I I I'm going to tackle what I'm about to say. The next few words are going to be crazy, right? But it is very similar in nature to me as Stars and Stripes, right? And the
Ooh,
reason I say that, the reason
bold.
I say that, right, is this. Yuki is a special grade. The only special grade that up to this point we haven't seen much on in terms of power, in terms of like personality, intelligence, blah 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 blah, right? Yuki was basically a blank slate that had the special grade title put on her, which basically meant, for all intents and purposes, right? She's like top, she's got to be like top 10 in the verse, strength wise. Probably even closer to that top five if you disregard, like, since Gojo's not in the way, Sukun is not really a factor. Like, of active characters that can actively do shit right now, high tier, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
outright one of the strongest characters in the verse, right? Cool. She is introduced in the story relatively recently, right? When you count up all the chapters that she has where she is a big factor or a major component, I'm pretty sure it comes up to less than 10, right? Cool, whatever, not that big of a deal. But when you look at her fight with Kenjaku, to me, her dying to Kenjaku is not a problem. I want to make that clear. Someone like Yuki or anybody dying to Kenjaku is not the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like her death in and of itself as a concept is no problem to me. I don't
It's
give
the
a
way
fuck,
she
right? Like
died.
it's the way like okay, Chad, I want you to think back, right? When was Yuki introduced as a combatant in this fight, right? Chapter 205. So from 205 to 208, Yuki is fighting Kenjaku. Yuki, mind you, is a special grade sorcerer, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is a special grade sorcerer. So is Kenjaku. They're kind of in that same tier of power, not to say that they're equal, but Yuki has the same sort of pull with her name as Yuta, as Gojo, which is crazy, but I'm just as Geto, as Kenjaku, right? These characters are all deemed to be on a similar plane of power, right? They're in the same grade. And Yuki, in my opinion, does not get nearly the same amount of hype as any of them, and undeservedly so, right?
Yeah.
Yuta has the whole volume to himself, right? Then he comes in Sendai and fucks shit up and just looks cool doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Gojo's Gojo, Kenjaku's Kenjaku, and Geto, even though his main role is to be an antagonist, right? He's the main antagonist of Volume Zero. We have like a lot of characterization for him in the background in Gojo's flashback arc. Even though he is like up to this point, or besides barring Yuki, the least developed or at least shown special grade, even he in terms of portrayal is hype as fuck to me, right? But
Mm-hmm.
and this is gonna vary from person to person. I don't feel like Yuki had a special grade level of portrayal because she only has one real chapter where she is clearly like a competent fighter against Kenjaku,
She's like
right?
dominant even. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The first it's in her debut in chapter 205. She is like somewhat has the upper hand against Kenjaku, but in chapter 206, 207, and 208, she's either losing, getting severely injured, or dies. Right? Isn't that a little wild? Listen, I don't like.
Bro, I agree with
Isn't
you.
that
Like,
just a little crazy? I know you do. I'm speaking
yeah.
like towards chat a little bit. Like now, once again, it's different. It's a little bit better in Yuki's case because she does have the shit in Shibuya a little bit towards the end. She does have the shit with Tengen and like 145, whatever. She does have a little bit more build up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But what was the problem people had with Stars and Stripes? A super powerful, top tier character power wise comes in against the main villain and just loses without having much impact. They acted as a jobber, right?
Yeah.
Your narrative purpose up to this point was to show how strong the main villain is. And like that's not inherently bad, but if you're going to be like that was her purpose, if you want to say that, that's fine. But admit Yuki's purpose has been to be a jobber. As a special grade sorcerer, she was a jobber for Kenjaku, right? I get it. Someone has to be. Kenjaku has to kill someone because he's the main fucking antagonist and he's a special grade. That's fine, right? I don't have a problem when fucking Mahito kills Nanami, or Mahito potentially takes out Nobara, or fucking all these different characters. But you want to know the difference? Nanami's a character outside of his death, right? He has purpose and narrative and actual interesting like character interactions outside of like
Mm-hmm.
his
He has
only
his
fight.
own worldview. He has his own goals. He has his own. Yeah,
Mhm.
you even get to see Nanami's like backstory, like of him as a person. You know where
Yeah.
he ended up or how he ended up there. Like I think the one thing, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like the one thing
Mhm.
that like really just kind of immediately pops to mind is that there was this aspect of Yuki that I fucking wish Gege explored it more before like just ultimately deciding to color her, and that was her perspective on cursed energy versus Ghettos. You remember that debate they had in the
Yeah.
flashback?
Mhm.
Dude, that is so much more interesting. It was actually so interesting to the point where I was like, oh, there might be a world where like Yuki's the ultimate winner and cursed energy gets like wiped away from the
Yeah.
JJK universe, right? And
Mhm.
it was like it was such an interesting. I thought it was like such an interesting way to maybe end the story, and maybe it could still end like that without Yuki. But like, it seems like she was like the main catalyst for it. Like she was the main advocate fighting for this goal, right?
Mhm.
And even in this fight with Kenjaku, there's none of that, right? She doesn't even like debate him on like his actual like I don't know, philosophy or anything like Choso did to some degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got the iconic like I feel like I'm a child with
Mm-hmm.
like an empty piece of paper and crayons, but like
Yeah.
Yuki's supposed to have this like really like crazy radical ideology that she's supposedly been pursuing for years, right? Up until this point. And the way she went out was just like very like again meathead. Like it was like you could have like literally used you could have made up a fifth special grade and just give him Yuki's powers and tossed them in and they would have had basically as much impact as Yuki did in this fight, right? Because the main
Mm-hmm.
impact was just damn, she's throwing hands with Kenjaku. And I'm kind of it's why like when I read that she died, it was like it didn't sit like I was like that's no, that can't be it, right? Because it was
Yeah.
just so unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
sure
Let
she
me.
could
Oh yeah.
like sure she could
For
die
sure.
like physically like he has the ability to kill her, right? Kenjaku's like abilities are not in question here, right? He had the
Mm-hmm.
ability to kill her and like the explanation for how he did it made sense, right? But as
Yeah.
far as like the way it happened and like the way she went out, again, really fucking I think betrayed some of the like intelligence that Gege did actually set up.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I see some interesting comments in the chat. And I want to address them because I think it fleshes out the argument. So people are like, you guys hyped up Yuki too much. It was just the community, right? As soon as you give someone the title of special grade, you as an author who was deemed special grade sorcerers to be in a completely different dimension of power than everybody else have hyped them up. If you didn't want Yuki to be hyped up, make her a grade 1.
Yeah,
That's it.
literally.
That's all you. That's because you've made her a special grade. When you do that, the connotation is your Geto level, your Yuta level, your Kenjaku level. Not that you're simply you can beat them, but you're in that tier. You're in that echelon of power, right?
Yeah.
And like you could say, oh, we hyped him up, right? It would be like, you know what? Let me give you guys a good example, right?
Mm.
How would you guys feel if Hikari versus Kashimo, Hikari died and he just dies for good, right? All of the hype, all of the him and Yuta can surpass me, blah blah blah, right? He comes in, he just dies versus Kashimo. That's it. His story just ends. Probably wouldn't be the best, right? Like probably wouldn't be optimal. You want to know why? Because the character not just has potential, but their portrayal within the context of the series is in high regard, right? This character is within, like, outside of the fandom, outside of communities coming together and liking a character, within the context of JJK, this character is hyped up, right? Yuki is a special grade sorcerer. That in and of itself is the hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you don't get to just say, "Oh, you guys just hyped her up a lot." No, she's a special grade. That's like we didn't just the fandom didn't just come together, pick Yuki as our chosen one and just make shit up about her, right? She's a special grade. Her not doing anything is the problem, right? Making a character that in verse is supposed to have impact, right? Not have that impact is bad, right? Now, something Liv said in chat also is an interesting thing, right? And it's like the Gege goes back and is like he a lot of times he recontextualizes shit post mortem, like
Mm-hmm.
obviously Toji, right? Cool,
Right.
that's completely fair. And I'll say this right now: if Gege goes back and he makes Yuki such a good character that I'm like, yeah, I fuck with her character, blah 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 blah. Like after the fact, cool. I'm fine with this criticism being null and void 50 chapters down the line, 100. I don't give a fuck. Like honestly, like I would rather not dislike Yuki in the way she's handled, right? So if if Gege comes back and he's recontextualized, and on a reread I come back, I'm like, damn, this really hits knowing all this information now. Sure, the criticism won't exist anymore, right? But that information doesn't exist to me, right?
Yep.
That information isn't here. And like for this kind of like chapter to chapter sort of like critiquing or like talking about format, if I just say every time there's a problem with something, oh, it could be resolved later, I'll never say anything, right? There will never be anything positive or negative to say. Oh, he could mess this up later, or he could make this better later. Like, yes,
Yeah. Like
both of those things are true, but I'm talking about it on a level that is contextual to what we have now. Like, I'm criticizing or complimenting or doing whatever to the material we have now, right? And like I said, I'm putting aside the thing that Yuki comes back, whatever, whatever. Who cares, right? That's fine. If he comes back, the criticism I have now will also not be valid later. And I'm completely okay with that. Like, I'm fine with that being retroactively fixed. I don't have a problem with that. But I also can't see into the future, right? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't determine that now. I can't determine how I'll feel about that now. So, as of chapter 208, I have a problem with it for all the reasons I said. I think in verse, Yuki is hyped up, right?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
like, not only is she hyped up, but for me, it really does come back to the like, there was a, I don't know, the way that she was handled in this fight, even in the scenes with her, Chozo, and Tengen. It's gonna sound weird, but like, I didn't know how I felt about her needing like backup. Okay. So the whole point of special
Her
grades,
jumping Kenjaku is fine in my
yeah.
opinion.
No, not that. I more meant like the that thing where she set Choso up to come back was like kind
Oh
of
yeah.
funny because like
Mm-hmm.
even if piercing blood could penetrate his skull, right? Just very big maybe considering it's still like Choso versus Kenjaku,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like odd. I don't know. It was like okay, Yuta would be fighting Kenjaku like with everything he had, right? Like he would like it's not that he wouldn't rely on anybody else. It's that he would have. I don't know. Like it just feels like this is not something a special grade does. Like okay, let me explain my thoughts here a little bit, right?
I mean, Yuki kind of says it herself, right? Like we're or Choso actually says it. You guys are special grades. I'm gonna, or
Yeah.
I think they just agree. Like, yeah, you're a special grade. If I get in the way, I'm gonna fuck shit
Yeah,
up.
literally, right? Like okay, thank you for saying that because like I'm just gonna commit to it, right? Like Kenjaku showed up to Tengen with another special grade there, and Choso's there. If you want to like have him matter for this, right? He showed up himself because like he just didn't need anybody else, right? He was just he knew he was just powerful enough to just do it himself, right?
Mhm.
Gojo goes into fights himself. Yuta was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill Kenjaku after I deal with like this 4-on-1." Like in every other situation, even Geto to some degree just needed a distraction for Gojo, right? And that is like,
Yeah.
and like that's what I mean, right?
Yep.
Like it was just like it seemed like out of character,
Like,
out of role,
out of like
to need,
yeah, like out of role almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? So like you bring up like or not you, but like someone I think Liv brings up isn't a black hole hype. Yes, but it's not substantive on its own, right? So like I'll keep using analogies because that's what I'm in my fucking bag, right? If Yuta pulls up, right? He pulls out the domain expansion, and then he dies right after. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like that domain was cool. It looked visually cool. It was hype in the moment. But that doesn't mean I don't want to, or like that. Like it's okay. It's like this, right? The black hole thing, hype wise, coolness wise, substance wise, does not scale relative to the expectations, in my opinion, that Gege has set for special grades, right? Because like, you can't. It's weird because. And not you in particular, not any individual particular person in chat. I don't know, but I just see like you're hyping up. Like people are like, oh, what did you want Yuki to do? She was fighting Kenjaku. Let me put it like this, right? Gege wrote for that situation to happen, right? Like, we can't act as if this is some, like, nebulous, outside of anybody's control scenario, right? It was written specifically to be this way. So, if you're saying, like, oh, it had to happen this way, no, it didn't.
It really didn't.
Gege controls the entire universe of JJK, right? Like, imagine this, right? If fucking Yuji goes in there, and like Yuji's the one that stays behind, and then he dies. Oh, but what did you expect? Yuji was fighting Kenjaku. I'm not saying I expected him to win against Kenjaku. I'm saying the problem is why did you make a character that has more that quote unquote needs to do more put in a position where all you can do is write them to die? That doesn't make sense to me. You like nobody but Gege crafted this all of the series of events that lead up to this, right? Every single instance that led up to this inevitable scenario was made by an author. That author made those series of choices. It's not something out of a person's control, right? You don't have to do that. That doesn't have to be the case. In the same way that, like, I don't know, if Yuji, like, oh, like, Gege doesn't have to write it so Kenjaku pulls up and kills Yuki, or some shit like, they can run, or they can do whatever, right? You're the author. You do shit on your own. Like, you come to these decisions and you make these writing decisions. yourself as the author. And hey, if you write it into the story so that it was inevitable that Yuki's gonna die, that's cool. That's your prerogative. I'm going to criticize the fact that you made that be the case, as long as I disagree with it, right? That's all it is.
Because Gege is showing us there are all kinds of special grades. Some have a one-off option, some have on hands, some have one-off and hands. But like, Yuki had a domain, you know, she had this black hole thing. She had a lot in her belt. And you know what? So did Kenjaku. Like, the thing is, right, with Kenjaku's abilities, another part that also didn't sit right with me was like, he was getting punished, like straight up, right? Like they were doing actual damage to him, even like to this chapter, right? Like to this like to the bitter end. Like Kenjaku was a person who was taking a lot of damage and expending a lot of cursed energy on reverse curse technique, healing himself from like every blow. Like, you know, that first mass punch had to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, seeing the mini Uzumakis, him using a domain that like that still burns up cursed energy, and just like coming back from this and still getting back up on his feet, like I don't know, like there's something about like how unexhausted, or just I don't know, it felt like, damn, did Yuki even do anything?
Like, okay, so like here's the thing, right? And this may be getting crazy, right? But like if you look at what like so far once again based off what we see, right? From what we see, here's what Yuki did.
Mm-hmm.
She made Kenjaku take longer to get to Tengen.
Yeah, but he still got to Tengen. Like,
what significant damage has he sustained, right? What has changed about Kenjaku? What has changed about the situation? It took him a little bit longer, right? Okay, like,
yeah.
Versus, and here's the thing, right? And this is a specific angle for a specific crowd. I don't even know if it applies to anybody in chat, right? But I'm going to say this. If Yuta had come back, right, into the story, and he died to Kenjaku in a 3-chapter fight, I really don't think anybody would be accepting it.
Dude, I can't believe it's only been 3 chapters. That is sickening.
I don't think anybody would accept that. Like, and I feel like, and this may be like, I don't want to, like I said, I'm not pointing this at anybody. This may be more of a fucking Twitter thing, right? But I think a lot of times people are willing to accept less for like Gege's women written characters because they expect less, or they're just like any iota of shit. Like, oh my god, she hit him really hard. She like Gege did her so well. Like, bro, no, it's okay to admit he didn't. Like, or hasn't so far, right? If Yuta comes back, right, and he's like, I'm a special grade, and in 3 chapters he gets smoked, you're fucking sick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what last ditch like effort technique he pulled out. Yuta could have pulled out a barrierless domain that encompassed the entire universe. If he died in 3 chapters, people are fucking pissed. You want to know why? Because that's ass. You have expectations for the character that are set within the story. Like that. Okay, it's Jabroni. What's the difference? What's the difference in their narrative importance, right? Because one could definitely argue that in terms of like importance to main characters and shit like that, Yuki has been here longer. She's been really in the fucking weeds longer.
She's an old special grade too. Like, she's been a special grade for like longer than like I think Gojo's been a special grade. Like, she is supposed to be like, I guess, the most experienced, like the most like, I don't know, knowledgeable. Like, there's something about, I don't know, Yuki's position in JJK that was always like super fucking interesting to me. Like it was like, oh man, this is gonna be so interesting. This is gonna be so interesting. And then we finally get her, and it's like, again, she's a meathead. Dog.
Yeah. I'll talk about like potential Yuki theories and how like Gege could clean this up for me in a second. But I just want to like really hammer, because I'm really trying to think of like, dude, is there any character that could be introduced as like super powerful and then killed off, and you guys would just accept that shit? Like, that's weird, no? Like, I don't know, man. Like, okay, for example, like even for me, right? If Kashimo had died, I'd be kind of upset. Like, I'd be like, damn, bro, really? And even that Kashimo chapter, or that Kashimo fight, was 10 chapters long.
Dude,
it's like 3 times the length of Yuki's fight.
Also, this is like a small nitpick. It's just like super small. But Gege has to stop canceling domains. Like, I want to see this shit. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, first Yuta...
Yeah,
I wanted to see Yuki's domain. Like, come on.
yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Like,
She wasn't
did you want to
selfish.
see
She
it?
was being. I don't like. I just wanted to see more shit in general, bro. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. Okay. She wasn't selfish. She was being a team player. Yuta literally pulled up into Sendai Colony. Was like, I fight for my friends, and
Yeah.
came out perfectly fine, right? Like, it's
Also,
not about her mindset. Isn't the reason she's fucking packed
yeah.
up. Like, Gojo's in a box, team player, right? Geto's packed up, team player, right? All of these special grades are still team players in some capacity,
Right. But
right?
like,
But the thing is, they're portrayed to be fucking cool. They're
yeah.
portrayed to
Not
be
only
like,
that, but like also, they are like fighting. Fighting by yourself or fighting for your friends like at a distance is still technically fighting by yourself, and like you even what's her name, Uro said like about Yuta, listen dog, you're really strong, you're super fucking, you're a monster, right?
you don't got that
But
mindset.
you don't got that
Like,
mindset. That's the only
that's
thing holding you back. Literally, canonically speaking, the more selfish you are as a fighter, like the stronger you get. Like that's the craziest thing about this, right? Like the reason Gojo fights alone, like Gojo could go in there being like, "Yeah, I want to be a fucking hero," right? But the reason he goes into his fights fighting alone is because he is fighting as brutally as he wants to, right? Everybody else next to him is a liability in more ways than one, not just physically, but like it fucks with his ability to fight as freely and as savagely as he wants, right? Sukuna is a step. He is literally like the bar, right? He is like canonically the guy who's like gone all the way, right? And the way he fights is for the fuck of it. He did like the way he was fighting, killing, like doing everything he wanted. You were seeing like one of the strongest, if not like the strongest character in JJK aside from Gojo, like indulge in what is essentially morally correct in his universe. Like the way Sukuna does things is like the peak of power in JJK. Like that is correct. Right, the closer
yeah,
you are to Sukuna, like Sukuna's approach to fighting and his mentality means you're like that much closer to his level of strength. Like,
yeah. And here's okay. Questions like you're comparing her to Star and Stripe, and then say she has narrative importance. I don't want to be mean, but are you like being purposely obtuse? Because Stars and Stripes did have narrative importance. She was America's strongest fucking hero, right? Like that's the narrative importance. The importance within the context of the story is you're a top in terms of combat. You're one of them, right? You're top 10 unequivocally in the verse, and then you get shafted, right? It's like yes, it's being like Stars and Stripes in the sense that like you're becoming a jobber, and having narrative importance aren't mutually exclusive. They're like it's for those reasons that I have a problem. You're hyped up to be a top tier character power wise, and you get smoked in 3 chapters. That's wild, right? I get it's Kenjaku, right?
mm-hmm.
I get it. I understand, guys. Like I'm not fucking stupid. I'm saying that like making Yuki be the special grade that just gets like I don't know, man. The portrayal just doesn't seem fucking like all that much. Like it's not even I don't know. The portrayal, the characterization, like she just feels
Kenjaku,
incomplete.
and dude, it never even felt like Kenjaku was fighting a special grade, right? Like there was something about like his attitude towards Yuki that was like slightly more on alert than fucking Choso. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like he was. It almost felt like he had more to give than her, like it power wise, right? Like it just felt like, oh yeah, I got like so many trump cards. I have like X, Y, and Z, and it just felt like inherently like an unequal match in a way that like shouldn't have happened. Like okay, the thing with the mini Uzumakis was great, right? Like that back and forth, that exchange was awesome because it showed like the dexterity, the knowledge, like even the power of Kenjaku, and like you can even say, oh yeah, the gap in experience, right? To know to do something like that in Geto's body, right? But then when you see what like Yuki had in her back pocket and like how she was able to fight, it almost felt like. And then Geto survived. Kenjaku survived. It just like.
People like Kenjaku was shitting himself. It's like, bro, who fuck? He
didn't.
ripped off his shirt. It's like, no. I'm not gonna. I'm like, he was like, damn, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he just ripped off his shirt. It's like, oh damn, bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You're strong, dude. I understand. We understand. That's not in contention, right? But using a like also being strong in a battle shonen is like fucking entirely narrative importance. Like that when a lot of the narrative is resolved through who is stronger, yes, being strong directly correlates to narrative importance. Like objectively so. It's one of in a battle shonen, it's one of the more objective ways to determine how narratively important you are. Um, I don't know, man. It's like, listen, once
Yeah,
again,
King Naj, like we just got info on her being a star plasma vessel, and none of that was like addressed. Like, was that important in some way? What was the point of saying that? Will that come around later? Like, I don't know. I just, it's not like we're shitting on her. We just wanted to see more of her because she was like, I think, so much more interesting than like. Her. It seems she had way more to give than this death. You know what I mean?
like I don't know. I feel like okay, so this is gonna be wild, right? I'll say this: if you are accepting Yuki's like now, there are people who think Yuki's gonna come back and that she has had more significant like narrative importance. That's cool. I'm not talking to that group of people when I say this, right? But if you are one of the people that saw Yuki die and are like, "That's cool," you are being more disrespectful to the character of Yuki than I am for taking a problem with her dying so soon. Like, unironically, you accepting this level of importance and like impact is way more of a fucking downplay to what she could have been than me being like, damn, I wish he didn't get fucking packed up. Because what you're saying is like, I didn't give a fuck if Yuki was in the story. Like, I don't care. Nothing. Like if we're being honest, right? Me wanting to like Yuki to be alive and having a problem with her dying is not the side of the argument that is like not giving a fuck about Yuki. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally saying, damn, bro, I wish she did not fucking die 3 chapters after she joined the fight. And once again, I have to keep fucking reiterating because I could just smell Gege doing some shit with Yuki later on, and people being like, oh, "Did you see? Like Yuki survived. Your criticisms were for nothing, right?" If
It's
she
in the
comes
moment.
back,
We don't
yeah.
know that, right? Like us.
If she comes back, I'm telling you right now on episode 38, bro. If she comes back, I will say I'm wrong. If she comes back or some other capacity, whatever, I'm fucking wrong. I don't care. I'm not like I'm not so invested in being right about not liking something that like if I'm proven incorrect, I'm gonna be like, damn. I wish I was still mad about that. No, bro. Please cook. I'm just saying right now, I'm upset about how it's been shown.
I mean, look, next chapter, Kenjaku could fucking merge with Tengen. Hold on, I just realized this didn't even occur to me because of like the Yuki shit. Isn't this it? Like, this is what Kenjaku was like kind of building up to. Like, a lot of the Culling Game players are dead. He's just kind of waiting for it to wrap up at this point, right? Like, is he just gonna stare at the body until like the Culling Game is over? Like, what happens now, right? Because it seems like Kenjaku finished like the hard part of his plan way sooner than the easy part, right? Like getting past Yuki and Chozo and like getting to Tengen was like the difficult thing, but it was also like the main ingredient. The Calling Game was just what the fuel for it. So one seems drastically harder than the other, especially when they have to kill each other to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Some okay, so I guess we can move forward into like more of the
Yeah.
theory crafting future shit. I've seen one that like we're gonna get some like Heian era type flashback or some shit because obviously Kenjaku pulls up and he's like, goodbye, my friend, or whatever the fuck,
Mhm.
which is pretty fucking ominous.
Yeah.
We may see like
And
I don't know
the
them
thing
in the
where
past.
he chuckled about Sukuna. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
also that was also weird. I saw this like I saw this. I made this tweet where I said the thing that initially jumped out when I read the Sukuna panel, the Sukuna page, and the goodbye my friend thing was like, so maybe this was all like, as far as Kenjaku's plan is concerned, kind of a more personal story than he's letting on. Because maybe my thought was maybe Kenjaku was tight with like Tengen and Sukuna like as friends, right? Before their quote unquote ascension, and this
Yeah.
is all like I don't know a way for him to join them, or maybe when you ascend, you kind of just lose the old version of yourself. And maybe that's why he initially helped out Sukuna. Back to what I said about like how do you talk to a guy like Heian era Sukuna, right? Like how do you just even
Hmm.
be around him when he even looks like that, right? Not even like his power. And for Tengen, it could just be like, oh, they were tight because I keep forgetting, I think on purpose, that Kenjaku's just like a floating brain. So yeah, maybe it just like maybe monsters hang out. Thank you for
Maybe
unpopping.
monsters hang out is
Yeah,
wild. Um,
Monsters Inc. in this bitch. But like, yeah, maybe there was just more to their relationship, like the three of them, than I think was let on before, right? Because thinking back to that panel where he says, "See Sukuna, like the age is coming back" or something.
yeah.
Yeah, like that immediately comes to mind. It's like this kind of like. And also Kenjaku telling Kashima that Sukuna was the strongest sorcerer he saw. Maybe it was all a lot more personal than I don't know. Gege let Kenjaku portray as.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like that could also be the thing Tengen was lying about.
Mm.
Um, fucking, it's like, yeah, no, I don't know why Tengen's being so fucking. He's being such a rat. We're buddies, man. Say what's up. Like
Yeah,
he's just like, bro, remember this was our dream. This is our dream for real.
yeah.
Um, Also somebody said a fucking hilarious idea. It's like the way to talk to Sukuna was like punching him and shit. It's like, all right, you got one hit. All right, you get 10 minutes. Fucking speak. But yeah, he's just like, bro, buddy, are you like Tengen's just fucking embarrassed of Kenjaku? He's like, dude, that was when I was in my edgy phase. Like, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Um,
that was before the last star plasma vessel. Also, dude, so Tengen's real body is still a body. That was really odd just seeing that.
yeah,
Because the implication I got was like Tengen let go of the physical form and just kind of assimilated with like everything around him. So it was kind of strange to see that. Like I don't know. I think a more thorough explanation of what Tengen is, or rather like what I don't know, any kind of
which I think we're
oh
100% gonna
yeah.
get.
You know what I'm really kind of clamoring for at this point. Like it's not that I'm having burnout from all these fights because Gege intermingles a lot of personal development for characters and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm missing like a solid reveal chapter. You know what I mean? Like that's one I really want to sink my teeth into. That's like
You think so?
yeah, like it's this kind of moment where it's like oh, oh, it's sort of like Aizen lashing out at Urahara or Yuha. Oh, I'm missing an everything but the rain esque kind of like moment. That's kind of what
Like a flashback?
not even like a flashback, but like, oh, what? That was like the thing, or that was the reason. It could take the form of a flashback. It could take the form of like a monologue, but like, I don't know, just kind of like more of the picture.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, it's been a minute, you know. We could definitely do with one. You tell me you don't want to see that?
I mean, what was the last one? Like 199? I feel like it hasn't been that far away. Or
Oh
like 200 or
yeah.
whatever. Like
Wow.
it happened like like maybe 8 or 9 chapters ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's 11 weeks ago in real time.
I guess I don't know. I guess I mean I guess from a real time perspective, I can see that, but it's like I don't know. In story, it doesn't necessitate it. I feel like
Hmm.
I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'm just saying like.
So what do
I also
you?
don't necessarily have that expectation of it. Like a hate period thing, I guess may have that, but I'd be more interested in that for more like rather than plot reveals. I want to know who Kenjaku is more, who Sukuna is more, and not in
Yeah,
like a fucking who they are, but like I care more about their character motivation and shit like that. I don't know.
yeah,
Is that what you mean by reveal? Is
yeah.
that
Like, what is their relationship? Like, why? Like, essentially, what does Sukuna want? How does Tengen and Kenjaku relate to this on like a more broad level? Like, is there something deeper? Is there not? I guess like I don't know. There's a lot of Kenjaku isms that just kind of like are really interesting to me because I think they like he's it's not like he's lying about his own motivations. I think he is genuinely doing it for the shits and giggles of it all. But I think there's
Mhm.
like a part of his personality that I
More
am
nuanced?
yeah, like this thing he said to Tengen about having actually lived feels
Mm-hmm.
like whoa. Thank you Zaki Lamek for the
Two
S.
hundred
No,
dollars.
I mean
Oh,
I think it might be a different
I was
currency.
like, dude,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
bro. That shit look crazy.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Thank you for it anyway. Whatever 200 SEK is. Depending on how long this merging is going to take. Thoughts on Six Eyes and Star Plasma Vessel showing up on day of merging. Like previous ones, even though Kenny killed both, like Tengen said in one panel, we are bound by fate. But if like Tengen dies, then like fate's broken. It's
And getting
20. Okay.
dies.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, like that's still great. Like thank you.
Yeah, that's so great. I was just fucking. I got speed blitz for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus fuck. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
Liv, you get it. Like Kenjaku's first life, the binding about, yeah, like all the kind of like history intermingling, like all these different moving pieces with Kenjaku, Sukuna, in them. And as for you, Zeki, depending on how long this merging is going to take, thoughts on Six Eyes. Yeah, like I said, I think the Six Eyes are sealed. Uh, Tengen is about to die or about to be merged with Kenjaku. So I don't know if you want to say with Kenjaku. Oh my god, with the world, and
Mhm.
the calling games are going to be over. So it's and the Star Plasma Vessel is dead. Like,
Yeah, the only person that can save us now is Miwa. Miwa needs to show up,
oh my
cut
god.
that man Kenjaku in half. I got some words. Yeah, yeah. Miwa might be able to save the entire world. My
Yeah,
goat for real.
yeah. So like a lot of it seems like this chapter actually kind of a lot of dominoes fell as far as this relationship with all these moving pieces and fate is concerned.
Hmm. Would we rather a Sukuna or Kenjaku? I'm not gonna lie. I
I
would
think they're linked.
much rather a Sukuna
Yeah, me
one,
too.
but I do think, but it makes more sense to show us Kenjaku than it does Sukuna right now. If they wouldn't be like part of the same thing. So maybe it could be like a not in the same exact sense, but in the same way that Toji and Gojo are both characterized. Um, Toji and Gojo, they're both characterized. They're both shown a lot in the flashback. Doesn't necessarily have to be that same antagonist dynamic or the antagonistic dynamic at all, but I mean, it could suit both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I will say I am. It's not that I'm most. Oh my god, Phantom. Okay. It's not that I'm against a Kenjaku flashback. It's more like I just think we're going to like if we get a Kenjaku flashback, it's going to be a Sukuna flashback because I think they're just like inherently linked.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Liv, you've been preaching the fucking good word. If Kenjaku's a super fucking sympathetic villain that like, I don't know, has been doing this shit because he had to, that I'm not gonna lie to you, that's gonna be your fucking win of the year. Um
Oh,
oh, King Nigel, thank you for the 10. So with everything we saw in this fight, thoughts on Yuta versus Kenjaku, is it a wash? Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I get listen, I told fucking my was it is it Tessero? Maybe it was Liv. I don't know. I told one of them, maybe both. But I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I now understand why
why
Kenjaku
Kenjaku?
thinks
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna be honest, right?
Let's
I'm gonna be
go,
honest.
dude.
I'm gonna be honest. Like
The
I have to, I have to take a look in the mirror.
dude, the
I can
evolution of you
see
doing
I
this
can
can actually.
see
It's
why
recorded.
fucking Kenjaku. I know.
It
Obviously, you
it
guys can always go back and check.
Yeah, dude. Even like at
I
the start of this fight compared to now, amazing stuff. Please
I
go
didn't
on.
I
Sorry.
didn't yeah, I didn't want this to be the case, right? And like by the time that fight maybe rolls around, maybe that'll change back, right? Because Yuta hasn't shown everything he has either. But as of right now, the best way I can put it is this. Kenjaku saying Yuta's a fraud, I'm like, shit, bro. I mean, like, I could see why you think that, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the fuck? Oh, you
Yeah,
made yourself a domain, and you have anti-gravity
that's
and
cute.
gravity, and you have curse spirit manipulation, and maybe another technique, and fucking an open domain. Like, fuck you, man. I don't like you. I don't like this guy. I don't
Yeah,
like this Kenjaku guy anymore. Now that he's fucking up my Yuta bag.
bro. It's so fucking like it's so crazy that like that was a black hole. Like did it, I forgot who said this or maybe it was in the chapter. But it's like that could have killed like destroyed the world. Like, huh? What?
Yeah,
And Kenjaku's just like, damn, I got away with it. Like, oh fuck, what?
yeah. Yeah, bro. I listen. I don't know, because my thing is this, right? Yuta being weaker than Kajaku now is not like something I have a problem with. I think Yuta's missing that fucking that Sigma grind set
Yeah,
mentality. If he gets that, bro, I might have to, because like listen, here's the thing, right? This was a nostalgic feeling because this is always talking about Kashimo versus Akari. I'm like, yeah, bro, I know how it's gonna go, but I really don't want it to go that way. I feel this way with Yuta Kenjaku. Currently, Kenjaku's putting that boy in a pack, right? However, that doesn't mean that's what I want to happen. You know what? Yuta stocks are abysmally low right now, and Kenjaku stocks are through the roof. I'm selling my Kenjaku stocks. I'm selling half. I'll sell
oh my
half,
god.
right? I'm selling half. I am dumping the money that I got from selling those stocks and I'm pouring it into Yuta. I'm buying the fucking dip.
Have you
When
ever
you
heard of something called the sunken cost fallacy?
no, don't use your fucking your psych terms on me. I'm buying in the dip, right? Yuta stocks have been plummeting ever since, people have been comparing the I'm gonna kill Kenjaku panel to Kenjaku doing all this shit, right? I'm I'm buying all the Yuta stocks, and when he comes back and flexes on everybody, I'm gonna be fucking rich. That's all.
That's all, dude.
Narratively, it has to be Yuji. No, it has to be Miwa.
Shut up, bro.
But like,
Dude,
listen, the Miwa Kenjaku is just so fucking real. I'm so real for that, to be honest with you.
you're a fraud, bro. You're legitimately like you're like a cult leader, like unironically.
And bro, and you know what's crazy? I got you to admit that too. Because we were talking about earlier with the Aizen thing. You were like, you don't have what it takes to be a cult leader. You just admitted I do. Look at you. I manipulated you.
God.
I'm like Aizen, but in real life.
Tell
I'm
him that,
different.
bro. Have him join you. Come on, sign him up.
Yeah, no, Aizen's different.
Oh my god.
I,
Yo, where was that ego?
Aizen's
Come on,
different.
bro. You were on the wave. Come on.
It's a power scaling difference, all right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Real fucking. Come on. No, guys. No, stop. No.
MKK is almost
Oh
as
my
bad as
God.
I'll ban you. I'll dead ass ban you if
Oh
you say that
shit.
shit to me again.
Thank you, Funky
No, I'm
Monk,
joking.
for the 10. Why did Yuji's mom have a... Oh, that's what I wanted to... Thank you. So Yuji's mom had a very weird, almost broken curse technique. And also Kenjaku kept it, which I just find humorous, right? But does this mean... Okay, there's implications for this. One, does this mean that Kenjaku just flat out keeps the same abilities of the previous body he was in, carrying on to the next body? Like... In a way that's different from like the idle transfiguration consumption, so it's just like added to his power set like just like naturally. Two,
Mhm.
what the fuck was Yuji's mom doing with this technique? It seems to be very broken. Three, it's an anti-gravity technique, which I found kind of interesting because like Kenjaku said he was using the reverse of this technique,
Yep.
so it's like leads me to my number four, which is that the first reverse curse technique we've ever seen? Like literally reverse of a curse technique? Like okay,
No,
no,
red.
red. But like I don't know, like that just kind of blew my mind because I'm like, dude, why does Gege not use this more? If a character has the ability to use reverse curse technique to heal themselves, what would they look like? Like that means they essentially have double the amount of curse techniques at their disposal, like from what they originally have, right? Because it's like, okay, somebody like Yuta, right, could theoretically do the reverse curse technique of like Inomaki's thing, right? By like combining these different facets, which is like also adds another layer of like scariness to Yuta, which like there's so many like interesting questions that comes out of like this anti-gravity revelation. Like I think the way Yuki was handled was kind of distracted from the fact that like there were some crazy power scale reveals for Kenjaku.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason you don't see curse technique reversals is like Kenjaku just admits that shit is like the gravity technique is just. I think it's pretty explicitly said that it just does. It's not as powerful or as useful in terms of like his control over it, because you're using the positive energy by like obviously multiplying your cursed energy by your cursed energy to use it. I think it's just tough. Like I imagine that, um, like I mean, if someone like Yuta ran out of energy quickly enough just by using fucking like reverse curse technique like 4 or 5 times. Like imagine spamming a curse technique reversal and you're not Gojo or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who knows?
but like
Yeah.
didn't he use his own body as like that was another thing. He used his own body as as like a domain. Dude, how are motherfuckers not talking about this? Like Kenjaku is kind of like he's that guy. Like just damn, I'm sorry, bro, but like Kenjaku's like putting you to impact. Like I'm so sorry.
Listen, that's fine. You keep saying that shit. Can you sell me your socks at a discount? Your Yuta socks? Can you sell
Absolutely.
them to me at a discount? Thank you, bro.
No,
Thank you,
no.
bro.
And I'll tell you why, right?
No, yeah, see, you understand. You know ball a little bit. You barely do, but you kind of get it.
Listen, I need to see you to say some shit like, you know what? I know I need that dog in me, but I'm giving that dog back to the pound. I don't want to be like that. That's what I need from Yuta.
Bro said I don't want to be like that. Hell no. Bro, somebody say fuck the 10 shadows. All right, bro. Where's the ban button? Hold on. Nah, but
No,
yeah.
come on, bro.
Yeah.
I use myself as a domain. Come on, that shit went crazy. Come on.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. But I don't know what else you want me to say. Yes,
Oh.
I think currently Kenjaku is significantly stronger, but
All
that
right.
don't mean Yuta's out of the fight, right? Yuta's got one more in him, and I'm putting more stock. I'm I'm quadrupling down on my Yuta stocks. I'd give you, bro, explosive. Okay, I'll take them. Give me the stocks, bro. Y'all are gonna rue the day. You're gonna rue the day you gave it to me for free. You're
All
losing out
right,
on millions,
all
guys.
right, Neville.
Hmm.
Okay, listen.
Um.
Oh, dude, what the fuck is the reverse curse of 10 shadows, 10 light? That would be fucking hilarious. But I was thinking, right? This only goes to show that the gap of like difficulty between like what the main cast has to do versus like fight like is this it? Like is this just the end of the series? Because like there is no way Megumi and Yuji are just like getting close to this power. You're talking like above special grade in like two
Incorrect.
days.
Delusion. Now, I'm not saying they did it in the past 2 days, but thinking that they can't is delusion. I'm not
Uh,
gonna lie to you.
Thank you, Rome
Give them,
Legend, for
give.
the 5. Kenjaku's
Thank you.
arrogance has infected the fans. There will be a downfall, so when Yuta Solo's stock's gonna go through the roof. Listen, man, Solos
Megumi
is
stocks are gonna go fucking
hilarious.
insane.
I'm not gonna lie. So he might have help.
When Kenjaku says help Arame, help me, Yuta's beating the shit out of
Oh
me,
my
and
god.
Miwa showed up. I need help right now. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, oh, by the way, like the stream, guys. We're about to wrap up soon. Want to get 100 likes before we close off
Yeah.
here. But yeah, so let me hit you with this, right? Why do you think in like the span of the what 3-4 days the Culling Games has left, they're
We've already
like
seen it happen. We've seen it happen on
above
screen.
special grade, dude? Come on.
We've seen Gojo go from getting like absolutely fucking
He is
pissed
literally,
on by
bro.
Toji
Gojo is
to
literally the Gojo's the worst example you could have used. He's like
no, it's not.
he is like disgustingly blessed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What does Megumi's name mean?
I
Yeah,
Oh my god.
blessing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
who has the potential to surpass Gojo? Oh, who was it? Yuji? And who does Megumi's
You
potential
know,
rival? Oh,
you
Yuji's?
know Gojo
Oh,
got
that's
stabbed through the
crazy,
neck to get that
man.
to happen. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what happened? One fight. It was a single fight.
Oh my god.
That's it. It took one fight to do that.
Rome
Like
Legend,
I
thank
don't
you
know
for
why
the
you're
2.
acting like the mechanics of JJK don't allow a character to go from getting shat on by somebody to being like, yeah, you can't touch me now. I'm obliterating you. Gojo gained reverse curse technique, red, purple, and he could fucking he was teleporting in after losing one fight, 4 new abilities. Are you serious? And we're doubting that Megami and Yuji, people who Gojo says have the potential to surpass him, can't. Sukuna's like, bro, Megami, your potential real as fuck.
Oh
And
my god.
that's the guy that
And
you're
you
like,
think
no, he can't. He
and bro,
can't surpass special
I'm
grade. Like,
sorry.
come on,
You
bro.
think in 2 days?
Let's. Bro, how? Okay, let me ask you this: how long do you think Toji versus Gojo was? How long do you think that fight was? Was it 2 days?
Oh my god. Also,
No, probably not.
really quickly,
Probably not 2 days.
Rome, thank you for the 199. Rika Miwa and Yuta's gonna. Oh my god.
You know
Oh
ball,
my
bro.
god.
You get it. Yeah, yeah, you get it. You understand.
If Kenjaku was really
But
dog, he would have fought Gojo. He a fraud. Okay, spit. I agree with that.
yeah, bro. Listen, listen. Like, I'm not saying they're doing it in these next 2 days, right? I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just I don't know why you think it's like so absurd when we've just seen like, bro, Mahito was
Okay.
getting the piss beat out of him.
Okay.
Domain
You
expansion.
know what?
Get
Let me-
beat up again.
let me-
Point two domain.
let me-
Like, these characters just evolve in
my
the
God.
middle of a fight.
Let me hit you with this, right? You're saying these characters, but you keep using Megami. The fuck is Yuji
And
gonna
Yuji.
do? He doesn't have a technique.
He's gonna get Sukuna's technique and kill the fuck out of Kenjaku.
Oh, you think he's getting cleave just like that?
Bro's getting all the Sukuna's techniques.
And he's just using them out the bag, right? Like out the box. He's like, oh, dismantle cleave, malevolent shrine for me.
Exactly.
Why, thank you, Suka.
Benevolent shrine, as someone once said. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. What? It gives them a fucking Buddha hug or something?
Yeah. Sure. Listen, bro. Like, all I'm saying is, like, I'm saying this. You are on the side that disagrees with Gojo and Sukuna. I'm on the side that agrees with them. That's all I'm saying. If you want to disagree, that's your prerogative. I'm just saying I agree with the character that you think is the smartest in the verse, and the character who has the potential to literally see curse energy and techniques, and is also the strongest. But hey,
Okay.
if you want to disagree with those guys, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay.
I'm just saying I agree with Sukuna and Gojo.
So like walk me through this, right? Because the 3 strongest guys right now are Yuji, my god.
Yeah, Yuji
right?
Itadori, top 3 of the verse.
Right. Gojo, Sukuna, and Kenjaku, and they all made their picks for like the strongest of like the next generation, right? Or whatever the current generation is, right? Gojo chose Yuta. Solid choice. I grant him, right? Seems a bit easy, but you know, whatever. Kenjaku's put his stocks in his Frankenstein with Yuji, right? And Sukuna's put his stocks into Megami. Now, out of you think it's just going to be those three, and if it's going to be these three, you're talking about like them hard carrying the rest of like, dude.
Nobody said it's just going to be those three. You just
okay,
said
maybe
you don't see it being possible. You just said you don't see it being possible for them to get that strong. I'm not talking about the other characters' development. I'm not. That is irrelevant to what I'm saying, right? I'm more addressing. Oh, it's ridiculous that they could. Like, bro, we've just seen people with their potential do the same shit. Like, we just have those examples.
So let me get this straight. You think they're all awakening to like some Gojo level degree, like in this short amount of time, like all of them?
What do you think the Cooling Games is for? Not all of them.
Rome Legend, thank you for the 10. Why people ignore that Kenjaku wouldn't even try to fight Gojo. He has Sukuna's domain in every ability we've seen in terms of cursed energy manipulation, but wouldn't even try Gojo with help. Overrated king. Gojo's literally like the fucking one above all in the verse, bro. Like,
bro said verbatim, "You're too strong. If I want to put in my plans, like, I can't.
I cannot begin step 1 until you are gone, bro. You're way too strong." And he even knew like he didn't even try to kill Gojo to get him out of the way. He had to seal him, because he knew that was like way easier than trying to kill him. Especially Gojo, like after like there was like a certain number of people that died in Shibuya and a certain number of curses that died. Kenjaku, like if he had walked up in any other person's body, he would have just like Gojo would have killed him without looking.
Yeah, and bro, okay, so I'm gonna ask a series of questions. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, right? Do you think that Gojo and Sukuna are making completely inaccurate assessments, like they don't know what they're talking about?
No, I think that like for Gojo, he has a very like obvious fair argument for why Yuta has that like potential, because he's already special grade, right? He's seen it like actualized to some degree, right? Sukuna's I'm a little bit more doubtful of, because whoa,
interesting. The smart, okay.
Yeah, Rome, thank you for the 199. Landa, thank you for the 499. And this part is a tier above Yuta. Stop the cat. Okay, let's not go crazy. Landa, reading shoujo fantasy action made me less tolerant of the way Battle Shonen write they female characters, because, like, why can't you just write them that good? Listen, man, you're kind of spitting.
Female character video coming soon, guys, to a theater near you.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
But you were saying?
Okay, so I'm like, okay, Sukuna, the person that you have been on record saying is like the smartest person in the verse, right? Him being like, damn, bro, I am willing to halt my plans and inconvenience myself at every turn to keep you alive. That Sukuna, that guy, yeah, he's just waffling. I don't know, man. I find that hard to believe. Like, if he's as smart as you think he is, and he's going out of character. He's inconveniencing. Bro said, "I'll kill everybody in Shibuya except one human." He's like, "Oh shit, Megami's in trouble," and dashes away from Urame. And you think that guy is just waffling?
I mean, listen, man.
Gojo has been with Megami, like been aware of his abilities and his technique since he was like 6.
Listen,
that guy, he waffling.
Listen, I'm just saying. Gojo also said that about Toto. That's all I'm saying. Also, King KT, thank you for the 499. So is Kenny the second strongest in the verse based on what we've seen, or do you think maybe 15 Finger Sukuna or someone else still scales above? Gojo, obviously. I think 20 Finger Sukuna scales above. I would love to see this version of Kenjaku versus 15 Finger Sukuna. I think that would actually be a more balanced or more fun fight than he had with Yuki.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Yeah, fucking a rare occurrence at this point. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like, dude, like Gojo's young and dumb. Gojo sees cursed energy and techniques. He knows the history of the Zenin family in relation to the Gojo family. Bro, deadass said, your technique, right, all that time ago, fought the techniques I have, and they both died. Hey, bro, maybe. And the thing is, when Gojo was on it's not like Gojo has been off the mark. When Sukuna gave advice and Gojo gave the same advice, guess what? Guess what happened right after Megami took an inkling of their advice, right? Oh, shit. He got a domain expansion and soloed a special grade curse, right? Oh, wow. It's almost like they kind of know what the fuck they're talking about. Almost.
I grant you.
Almost, yeah.
But
It's almost like it's almost like the character who like has the all-seeing six eyes, and the guy who's been alive for 1,000 years and is a super smart battle combatant and is super selfish, but seemingly only has this like exception for Megumi. It's almost like they're probably not just saying the shit.
okay, I'm not like discounting them. I just want to know what the fuck did Gojo see in Toto that made him like add to this list? Because I get it with Hikari, right? We got to see that Hikari was like that guy, right? And we got to see it with Yuta because obviously he's Yuta, right? And we can even sort of we can see it with Megumi, with Sukuna. Yuji's a bit of a harder ask just because like without the Sukuna techniques, feels like yeah, you know what, we'll call Yuji like a maybe, right? A strong maybe.
Okay, well, let me ask this. What basis do you have to disagree with these characters? Like, I'll make it that simple, right? What footing do you have to say these guys are more likely incorrect than they are correct?
Also,
What reference do you have?
listen, Funky Monk, two things. One, thank you for the 10, but I was the one that said he was gonna have the army of Maharaga, you know, the Chimera. I am the Megami fucking super domain awakened ability guy, right? Check the VODs.
No, you're not. Don't
check,
fucking lie.
dude. This podcast is like an official.
Check my
record.
videos. Check
check
the
my,
videos.
check
How many
this
how many
podcast,
Megami?
bro?
Yeah. Check the Megami domain video. Yeah.
I made one too, bro. Like, okay.
Yeah,
We're not.
nope.
We're not getting. We're not gonna pull this right. That's the first thing. Second of all, it's not. I'm not doubting Megami, right? Or Yuta, or even like Yuji that much, right? The thing that I'm trying to like get at really is like this explosive growth isn't maybe as explosive as you guys think because you know what, Megami had three of these moments with like his domain with that special grade, then with Reggie like and using the shadows and like a smaller like traveling through the shadows and all this shit.
Reggie was an explode. He's had one awakening moment.
No, I mean just like building upon that awakening as well, right? Like Gojo awakened and like was able to like hit off purple, but then you know what he did in the coming months or whatever? He figured out how to separate like specific objects by mass, like et cetera, right? That took training even after the awakening. So I think like if you want to build upon that, that's where Megami is comparatively. If you're telling me he's going for a second awakening, like
Bro hasn't hit a black flash. That's all I'm gonna say.
okay, all I'm gonna say is he still needs to tame Maharaga to like unlock the rest of his abilities. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
so are you saying once he does that, he's
yes, for Megami specifically,
cool.
that is like the case in which I'll accept like a second like true awakening, right? Because like a lot of his own power is just behind this wall, and you know what? Nobody knows what's beyond that wall. Not even Megami, because like no other 10 Shadows user has like done it, right?
Yep.
Now, for Yuta, he's built different, whatever, right? We all know about Yuta. For Yuji, my problem is that Sukuna's techniques are inherently anti-Yuji, like morality-wise. They're all meant for just killing and butchering, right? Like they're like we've said it before on this podcast, dude. Like there is no like safety on with Sukuna's techniques, and you can make the argument, oh yeah, he's gonna use it on like Kenjaku and like curses mainly, sure, but like he doesn't know how to inherently use them to the same like finesse as somebody like Sukuna, right? Sukuna was able to just alter the conditions of his own domain, like to meet the conditions to not kill Megami, right? I don't think Yuji's having that dexterity with like these new techniques.
Okay, so I'm going to re-ask the question I asked earlier because I think it's very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
What reason do you have to discount these two highly reputable characters, right, that is more reliable than them? Like what leg do you stand on out of pure, like, beside pure skepticism?
It really
because all it is, because like all I'm saying is like, yeah, sure, if you just want to say I'm skeptical, like cool, but that's not really an argument. That's just you being like, I don't think so. And it's like, cool, yeah, you can do that.
It really
but it's like
is just skepticism. Like it's based off
and
of
I can't argue against that. That's fine. You can be skeptical.
Like those examples that I listed of like where my skepticism comes from is just because like for Gojo's awakening, right? It was this like earth-shattering, like I am in all the heavens and the earth, I alone am the honored one. Is like
and none of them have had that yet.
If you just said Megami had an awakening before.
An awakening is not the same thing as literally changing his complete ideology and thinking himself as God. Those two things can be different. Like Yuta's had an awakening too, right? And guess what? He doesn't think himself like that. Uro confirms that.
Yeah.
Like we know that these characters can grow stronger. Yes, I agree. And I'm saying Like you're discounting the ability for that to happen. I'm not saying it's already happened. Nobody's fucking arguing that these characters are already surpassing Gojo. Nobody said that, right? I'm saying we have objective evidence that characters with this level of potential can get that strong, can have that big of a jump in a single fight. There's no argument to be had. It's just true. It's not a oh I think or no, it is the case. Gojo and Sukuna are also the only thing you could possibly argue against is like that they have that level of potential growth. You can't argue that that if they have the potential they can grow that strong. That's you can't there's no argument. There's no skepticism. It's true. Right? If you want to say, "Oh, they don't have much potential as Gojo," sure. Take that up with Sukuna, take that up with Gojo himself. That's fine. I can't do anything about you thinking that, right? I'm saying my standpoint is backed up by two, in my opinion, like, I don't know, top 5 most reputable characters in the verse. Yours is backed up by skepticism, which is fine. I don't, like, that's, like, it's not the end of the world. You can be skeptical for all you want. I'm just saying, like, I think it's more likely that they can than they can't based off of all of the information and all of the narrative that's been leading up to this point.
It's fair. It's I don't know. Like you're more inclined to take Gojo's and Sukuna's words at face value. For me, it's like I don't know the condition in which they'd surpass Gojo because that's my sticking point, right? It's not so much like that I don't think they'd ever be special grade. It's more like I just think, like I said before, right? Gojo's the only one at his whatever level of power, or that like there should be a Gojo what do you call it? A Gojo scale or a Gojo level to this fucking grade scale. And the fact that Gojo says there's going to be people above him, Yuta's the one that I most like believe, right? Megami too, if like the multiple Maharagas thing comes to fruition. Thank you, Melon Lord, for the $4.99. Yuji merely needs a change of mindset to be an honored one. Once he changes his mindset to be selfish and fight to win, his growth will be exponential. I agree, and assuming he gets Sukuna's techniques, but you're talking about like a very paradigm shifting kind of revelation for Yuji to like I'm a cog. Yuji is like that's gonna be a high bar for him to clear. You know what I mean? Just mentally, because Mahito like broke that guy down.
I don't think anybody doubts that either. Like it's nobody wants it. Nobody thinks or even wants it to be easy, right? I don't think that's the argument, but it's like these things in JJK typically happen really fucking quickly, right? Like we didn't know Yuji agreed with Mahito until Yuji fucking agreed with Mahito, right?
Right.
Like that happened. Yuji changed from completely disagreeing and rejecting everything that Mahito was to, you know what? You're right. Fuck you. Fuck everything. I'm a cog. And remember, that's one fight. That paradigm shift mentality that you're saying is so like hard to achieve, which I agree with. It's hard, but it happened in a singular fight in Shibuya. It happened within the span of hours.
A lot of that was like building upon the murder Sukuna committed in Yuji's body.
Once again, even if you say that, it's that took place over the course of a single night.
It was a huge, drastic action, though. Like,
yeah, sure, and like I'm not once again I'm not doubting that, but I'm talking about like you bring up like the amount of time as if that's like some reason that it can't happen, and I'm like, dude, Yuji completely changed his entire mentality on himself and his importance in the world in a night. Really, in the span of a couple of hours, right? All of that just completely fucking shifted, right? Maki, I think Liv brought up Maki, right? Maki went into a fucking domain, sumo wrestled a guy, and came out free as fuck. Bro, these characters just have these massive changes in single fights. It's just consistent since like the very beginning. If they're open to those changes and like their potential is all the way there, if Geiko so chooses, right, you can have them make that change in a fight, right? Maki was like, what am I missing? Some guy in a fucking sumo garment said, hey, let's sumo wrestle. She came out of there a minute later and was like, I'm free. Bro, these characters just fucking grow fast. Like, that's just all it is.
You know what? You're right. I hate to admit it. I'm sorry, chat. I know y'all hate it too, as much as I do, but unfortunately, you make a really good argument.
Yep. Those are the words. Those are the words. I don't want to like. You're right. Through fucking gritted teeth is crazy. That may be one of the most painful things most painful you're right to think I've ever heard. But like I don't want to completely disregard like your stance either. It's just like I definitely do think it's gonna be hard, and maybe part of where the friction comes from is maybe you thinking that I'm making it like playing it up to be easy. It's just I think I'm playing it up to be quick. Like that change is going to be a fast one rather than an easy one. It's just going to be a blink and you'll miss it type of shit. Because it's the same thing with Megami the first time. It's just he passes out, he wakes up, he's like, "What is he gonna say again? That I'm a bitch? Oh, I can't let that slide." And then you just open a domain. So like it's not an easy thing. It's not like a casual thing to do. It's just a thing that happens quickly.
Thank you,
Um,
Rome Legend, for the again for the 4.99. I don't think everyone will be special grade just because of mentality shift. Look at Kashimo and Ryu; they definitely do get that mentality. You're kind of right, and I don't know if everyone can get to that mind state. I think it's definitely a factor of like potential and
Potential,
mindset.
yeah.
Yeah,
Potential and mindset. Like those are that's basically like so one Kashima doesn't hasn't shown a technique, right?
yeah, and it seems like
So
that he
like
can
which
only
is like
use
the
it
main
once. Yeah,
yeah, it's like the mainstay of fucking like potential in JJK is oftentimes expressed through your curse technique, right? So Kashimo not having it used most of the time is like immediately handicapping him. And you could just argue that they don't have as much potential, which is completely fine.
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
also, if you just want to be like I don't know, technical about it, you could make the argument that like they weren't even supposed to get that strong, but they were just like so naturally like good at like having this mindset that they kind of went above their predetermined or like natural potential. You don't know. You could
Yeah,
speculate. You could
I
be
mean,
like,
like, I
I
mean, Kashimo Deadass just Kashimo's thing is I reinforce my body with cursed energy and use my cursed energy trait. Like,
yeah,
dude, what the fuck?
that's just,
Like,
yeah,
huh?
that's kind of crazy. Like Hikari also has a weird cursed energy trait, but he's not using
Yeah.
it like that. Like
Bro, and Ishigori's technique is just big blast. Like, bro,
yeah, and he's
these
just
guys are
spamming. Yeah,
ridiculously strong. Like when you look at cause look at the context of just what their techniques are and the versatility possible. Ishigori's is fucking big cursed energy blast, and Kashima's is like I zap you and I don't
yeah.
even use my technique.
And
Like,
dude,
bro,
it was
these
cutting
guys
through
are
an
really
immortal,
fucking
like strong guy. Like that lightning was doing numbers. You know?
yeah, bro said you're dead. Bro killed Hikari several times. Like Hikari didn't just like overpower Kashibo. It was like a damn, there's water and damn, he's immortal and damn, he can keep opening domains. Okay, all right. Yeah, the odds were definitely stacked against him there. But like, bro, the that like
He was still punishing him for a bit there. Like and
yeah, bro,
bro, I'm
yeah.
gonna just say it right. If Hikari went into that fight, not in Jack
Oh nah, bro. Guy, he's gonna Kasha was gonna be like, oh my god, another bomb, and then he's
yeah,
gonna just tear his head off. Like that is realistically what would happen. Yeah, and Kashimo still like listen, guys. God, I sound like I'm salty about this fight, but I'm really not. So the context, right? If water wasn't there, the fight's going on another 30 minutes.
yeah.
I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like it doesn't even matter if Kashimo wins. The fight's just still Bro got kicked into water and nearly still won. Bro, what? Yeah, nah. Give them you like we can't act like just because they're not like Kenjaku or Gojo or Yuta
Mhm.
that their mindset does not allow them to achieve a ridiculous amount of power.
Yeah. So I definitely think it's potential versus mindset. Like versus, oh my god, and mindset.
Yeah.
Imagine they're fucking at odds. Um,
Yeah.
there's an infinite loop for you. Yeah. Overall, though, I think Yuki stuff aside, it was a
Yeah.
solid
Good chapter.
chapter. Yeah.
Like that Choso shit alone is enough to make me like I have
Yeah.
my problems with the Yuki thing, but like in all honesty, even with that being as big of a problem as it is to me,
Mhm.
the Choso thing alone makes it like it
Yeah.
basically fucking
Dude, that
counters and then
panel
you
with him
have
crying, I was like, oh
yeah.
man.
Just the same yeah, it was really fucking good.
Mm. Overall, I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
I'd give it like an 8. Yeah, no, I think 7.5 is fair. I think
Yeah.
7.5. Like I can't disagree with the Yuki
Yeah,
thing
like
personally.
it was just good enough, but just sour enough to kind of meet that like yeah, it was solid, pretty good.
Yeah, like the Choso part, like Choso, like okay, so you guys know I've been on my fucking Choso hating arc, right? This shit, I was like, nah, I fuck with Choso for real. I
Yeah.
fuck with Choso a lot.
Dude,
Oh,
shout out Choso
yeah,
for the Destructo disc he used. I just didn't want to like, yeah,
bro, yeah. Tengen should have let him let that fly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let that shit fly, bro.
yeah,
Like he drop him after he throws it, but yeah, nah. Definitely like it was. There was more good than there wasn't. You know what I mean? Like It's
Yeah.
definitely not something to discount at all.
All right, 4 more likes till we get 100. I
Hmm.
think fucking great episode, great chapter, great discussion. Yeah, we
Yeah.
really vibed with you guys. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to our mods. Thank you
Mhm.
again, Liv, for creating our awesome thumbnail. We will see you guys next week for a very fun little episode.
Ooh, interesting one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Stay tuned, guys.
yeah. Happy holidays to everybody. We will see you later.